With the kayak loaded up, it was time for today's mission. Put the Kanama bait aerator through the real-world saltwater test in the exact conditions that I fish every week. The bait was ready, and so was I. The plan was simple. Target flounder, bring one home, fillet it, and put the vacuum sealing function of this Kanama aerator to the test. But there was just one problem. A recent upwelling had the water temperature swinging all over the place, and as the day unfolded, it became pretty clear that this trip wasn't going to be nearly as straightforward as I had planned. Alright guys, I'm out here on the water right now, and we're going to be testing out the Kanama VersaPump. We're doing the field test today. I plan on having it get splashed by a little bit of salt water. Right now, I have the Kanama is actually sitting on the side of the bait bucket here. So we're going to test this puppy out, see how it performs. And then if I have any minnows left over, I'm going to see how long I can keep them alive for in my garage. Maybe I can keep them alive until next week's trip. Stay tuned. Literally a beautiful day out, man. There's like no wind. Before I leave, I'm going to head over to the bridge. You know me, I always got crabs. We're going to see if there's any sheep at the bridge. But for right now, I'm going to see if we can get any flatties. Only getting shorts right now. Well, apparently the flounder didn't like plan A. The bite was painfully slow and produced nothing but shorts. You know, the kind of fish that you don't even bother netting. So it was time for plan B, and I headed over to the bridge to do what I do best. But before I got started, I wanted to check in on the Kanama and see how it was holding up after a couple of hours out on the water. So far, I've been fishing for a couple of hours. Battery actually is really doing well, man. I mean, if you just take a look, it is reading 97% right now at this point. And as you can see, my minnows are very lively. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves now. I still needed to catch one fish to vacuum seal. Thankfully, the sheep's head were much more willing to cooperate. Before long, I had loaded several fish. This feels like a pretty decent fish, man. Kept one and released the rest. And I might have had a little bit of fun in the process. Eventually, it was time for me to go home, so I loaded up the trailer. I got everything cleaned up, and then that was lights out for me. The fish stayed in the cooler until the next day. All right, guys, so I gotta be honest with you, I did not vacuum seal my fish last night. I'm actually gonna eat it tonight, but before I do, we're gonna vacuum seal it. But I just wanted to show you guys something. I actually have this bait bubbler working right now. It actually ran through the night. I did have to put the charger on it eventually, but I got about 17 hours out of that bubbler on one charge, running at 100%, which is above and beyond what I need, and this thing is cranking right now. Check this out. These guys are alive and well and swimming around down there, and I think I could keep them alive all week if I had to. I never could have got that out of any other bait bubbler I've ever owned. And certainly I'd be throwing all kinds of batteries in there, a huge waste of money, so I am like way happy about this. But now, let's test the vacuum sealer. At this point, I got to work. I filleted my fish. I placed the fillets into the vacuum bag. Used this little tool to seal the top. Attached the vacuum sealing accessory to the Kanama VersaPump. And now let's see if it actually does what they claim. Huh. Look at that. It actually works pretty well. One feature I wasn't expecting is it also pulls out any of the liquid out of the bag during the vacuum sealing process. In this case, the bag is sealed nice and tight. You can actually see the water extracted dripping out right there. At this point, I'd have to say the vacuum sealing function of the Kanama VersaPump works exactly as advertised. I mean, I wasn't expecting a pump of this size to really be able to generate enough suction to seal these fillets, but it seemed to work without any problem at all. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's move on to the rest of the claims that they make on the box. I actually have had the bubbler running all night. Had a full charge last night, say around 6 o'clock. Changed out the water so it wasn't too dirty, but it has been aerating all night, and it's actually working really well right now. Check this out. All right, so as you can see, after running all night, I got 57% battery power still left. It's been running for over 8 hours, and my minnows are still alive and well. This is day 3, but because I got to go to work, I am going to just charge this while I'm at work. So yeah, this is one of the claims I am really interested to test out. My 2 major needs from a product like this are durability and battery life. This is one of them, so we're just going to plug her in right here and see if she takes a charge. All right, now she's charging. As soon as I got home from work, I checked on it, and as you can see here, it's charged right back up to 100%, so that takes care of one of the 2 claims I was really interested in. As for the IP86 rating, is it really fully submersible? In salt water? Well, I just so happen to have a bucket of salt water right here, so let's find out, shall we? Alright, in order to do this test, I need to switch this unit around, but basically we're just going to attach the air hose to the intake valve on the Kanama unit. Attach the dust filter to the top of the air intake hose. Place the microstone back on the top of the Kanama unit the way it originally came in the case. And then, I guess we just dump her in. Here goes nothing. Look at that. It is fully submersible. All right, we're gonna let her simmer in there for a little while and see what happens. Now, typically speaking, this is designed to take this yellow ball that goes on this tube, and then this is just an air filter. This will float in the top of a 5-gallon bucket. I don't really need to do that because I can just kind of push this in here like this and it'll work like that. It is actually fully submersible, and we're gonna leave it like this for a little while because I do want to expose it to some salt water and just make sure that it holds up. But yeah, it looks like it's working just fine. All right, guys, so I've had this running all night with the bait bubbler at the bottom of the bucket. I gotta pull it back out of there because it's probably gonna need to be charged while I'm at work, but it has been working through the night. These minnows have been alive for 4 days now, so it's working out just fine, and I'm probably gonna be able to use these minnows this weekend when I go out fishing again. By this point, the Kanama had been through just about everything I could throw at it. It had survived repeated saltwater use, an overnight submersion test, extended runtime testing, even running while charging. We tested the vacuum sealing function of this unit, and it seems to work just fine as well. And even after spending the entire night running at the bottom of the bait bucket, it still showed no signs of wear and tear and still had a 50% battery power left. As for the minnows, well, the goal was simple. It was to keep them alive until the following week's trip, but you know what? They made it through that trip and through to the following week as well. At that point, I didn't really need them anymore, so there really was only one thing left to do. I released the remaining minnows as I felt they had earned it, and they seemed to swim away just fine. Bye-bye. So, after everything I've put this Kanama VersaPump through, there really was only one question left to answer. Would I recommend it? I've got to be honest with you, I did find it pretty hard to find anything to complain about with this unit. Originally, I thought the vacuum seal bags were custom and had to be purchased directly from Kanama, but after doing a little bit more research, I found out that the VersaPump is actually compatible with most standard vacuum seal bags as well, so that really wasn't an issue after all. But like I've said throughout this video, that's not even really the reason I'd buy this product. For me, the real value is having a rechargeable bait aerator that actually does its job without biting the dust in one season. And speaking of old bait bubblers, that reminds me I have some unfinished business to take care of. Oh, I almost forgot. There is just one more thing. If you decide the Kanama VersaPump is right for you, I have put my affiliate link with the discount code in the description below. The discount code will save you some money, and using the affiliate link helps support the channel at no additional cost. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.